Hey everyone, Matt here. These days, I consider myself more of a retro gamer than a current gamer, so I picked up the RG350 from Anbernic to be able to play my games while on the go. It's small enough to fit in your pocket, yet still has a 3.5-inch display, which is surprisingly big enough to game on. Now I've got time to give you my review of this second generation retro gaming device from out of the box. So this isn't an unboxing, but I wanted to show you the box as well as what came inside the box. On the top of the outside of the box, a simple clean graphic of the unit. On the left, shows the specs. It says a 3.5-inch IPS screen, 1 gigahertz processor with 512 megabytes of DDR2 memory, and a built-in 16 gigabyte micro SD card inside. It supports Type-C charging function. It has stereo speakers with a headphone out jack. It has a 2500 milliamp battery, claiming 6 hours of battery life. And it supports card expansion. It says here 64 gigabytes of micro SD, but I am able to use 128 gigabyte. On the top, another simple clean graphic of the unit itself. And on the right, just shows that I got the what unit I got. Comes in the black with orange accents, which is what I got. A gray, which reminds me of a SNES color theme. A crystal black. An aluminum alloy for a more premium look and feel for an additional cost. And a crystal clear, which is what I preferred, but wasn't available when I made my purchase. And on the bottom, another simple clean graphic of the unit. On the bottom of the box, nothing but on mine came a sticker of the Amazon warehouse because that's where I bought it from. I'll provide a link below where you can buy these units. Now that that's out of the way, let me show you what came inside the box. Inside you'll have a colored manual. Looks like it's printed in, I believe, Mandarin. But the other side is in English. Also inside is this plastic foam, help it protect it during shipping. The unit itself feels pretty nice. More of that later. And a USB Type-C cable for charging, and nothing else. So that is what came inside in the box. And for those of you who are wondering, physically this measures just under 6 inches lengthwise. Its width is about just under 3 inches, and the thickness is just over half an inch thick. So one of the things you'll immediately notice is this has a dual analog sticks. Some people wish the left analog was on the bottom, but after playing with it for a while, you get used to it. The A, B, X, Y buttons also have a very satisfying tactile response when you press them. The unit itself feels good in the hand. Below, you have the reset button, the plus and minus volume buttons, the power button on the far left, and the external micro SD card slot. Moving to the top, you have 4 additional action buttons, the L1, L2, R2, R1. so you shouldn't have any problems with games that require additional buttons, especially for fighters. The USBs, you've got USBs 1 and 2, which are both USB-C, which is meant for additional gamepads, and there's an HDMI. The firmware doesn't allow the use of it. However, it may be an enabled feature in a later update. And finally, you got that AV jack if you want to use it. To power on the unit, you want to hold on the power button on the bottom left for a couple seconds. When you boot up the system, you'll be greeted with a fairly plain UI that includes emulators, applications, freeware games, and system settings. You navigate through this UI using the D-pad, the joystick, or the L and R buttons. You can see mine was out of the box, uses the October 10th, 2019 build. If we go to system info, you'll see it's running kernel version 3.12.0. The IPS display is definitely a big selling point for this device, both for its clarity and sharpness. The viewing angles of this thing are essentially 90 in all directions, and the screen is bright and vivid. Included emulators include MAME, DOSBox, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Nintendo, Genesis, ASWAN, PSX, SNES, Sega Master System, Game Boy Advance, TurboGrafx-16, Neo Geo, and MAME for all. Under the games menu are some built-in games. The most notable ones to note is the Free Doom and the Streets of Rage free version. The RG350 unit I purchased came bundled with a 32GB card with 2500 classic games. The following is me testing the unit from that list of classic games, straight out of the box. This is the freeware version of Streets of Rage. Left analog doesn't work, but you can use the D-pad to control your character. Here's the freeware version of Doom. You can use both analog sticks to control in the game. Here I'm playing Donkey Kong Country, one of the many classic video games on the bundled 32 micro SD card. I'm using the SNES emulator that was on the device. You can also use the left analog stick to control the characters. This is the classic video game Art of Fighting running on the Neo Geo emulator. Unfortunately, the left analog stick isn't responsive. Another classic video game, actually from the arcades, Turtles in Time, running on the MAME 4All emulator. And this is the classic video game Crash Bandicoot running on the built-in PS1 emulator, straight out of the box. That's it for now. If you'd like to see more, have suggestions, or want me to specifically try something, let me know in the comment section below. And please, click on the thumbs up icon if you liked this video. Subscribing to this YouTube channel and sharing the video also helps. And don't forget to click on the notification button for this channel so you won't miss the next I Got Time To video.